So all the ProSMV codes we learned about are used for handling purpose, whether machine or garment. But what about the time that is consumed when the machine is actually creating a stitch on the garment of any shape or length? That time is also to be added to the handling time. This is called sewing time. Now this time depends on a few factors. Time always depends upon distance and speed first. So the first two factors are sewing length, that is the length of the stitch in centimeters, and speed of the machine, which is usually represented in RPM or rotation per minute. The next factor is size of stitch or SPI, which is stitch per inch, also called SPC at time, which stands for stitch per centimeter, and can be adjusted here. The fourth factor is stitch difficulty, that is, if it is a difficult curved top stitch or an easy straight overlock. The last and fifth factor is stop accuracy, which is the precision required by the operator to stop at the end of the stitch, like a difficult stop during pivoting a collar or easy stops like in case of overlocks. Let us have a look at the different levels of stitch difficulty and stop accuracy, starting with stitch difficulty. Here we have the control code or difficulty level in the left column and its characteristics and identification on the right. The first difficulty level is simple, which is also denoted by a capital S. This is used while sewing single ply of fabric, which does not affect the outside appearance of the garment in any manner. A very good example would be serging single ply. The next level is called easy, denoted by a capital E. This is used while sewing straight seams on two or more plies which do not affect the outside appearance of the garment. Like in case of attaching any seams, an example would be shoulder attach. The next difficulty level is medium, denoted by a capital M, and is used when sewing curved seams that do not affect the outside appearance of the garment, or also while sewing straight seams which do affect the outside appearance of a garment. For an example would be sleeve attach for curved and any top stitch for the straight. The next level is tricky level, denoted by a capital T. This is used while sewing on curved outside seams like top stitching on curves that do affect the outside appearance. An example would be curved top stitch on armhole or neck. The last level is difficult level, which is denoted by a capital D and is used when sewing inside little spaces which are usually less than 5 centimeters. Here the machine start and stop is very instant, and this stitch can be very important to the appearance of the garment. Example could be fitting labels in small appliques or placket top stitch like this. Moving on to the accuracy levels. There are 3 levels of stop accuracy. The first level is called X level and accounts for 0 TMUs. This is the commonmost stop accuracy level and is the least accurate. The precision for stop required over here is more than 1 centimeter. An example would be runoffs after overlocks. The next level is called Y level and accounts for 8.7 TMUs. This type of stop is required in the end of fabric edges, like in case of back tacks, and also the precision here required has to be within 1 centimeter. The last level is called Z level, which accounts for the highest TMUs, that is 20.1. It is of very high accuracy and is used during corner stops with a precision that is very high, which is between 1 to 2 stitches, like in case of pivots in collars and pockets. So sewing time has to be represented in a certain format considering these factors. It always starts with the code SEW to represent sewing time, and then the length of the seam in centimeters, then the seam difficulty, and at last we write the stop accuracy level. So let us understand this with an example. Sew 10 mx. Now here we start with sew, then the length of the seam, that is 10 centimeters. M stands for seam difficulty, where we know that M denotes stitching on curved seams that do not affect the appearance of a garment, or straight stitch that does affect the appearance. This means that it is either an inside curved seam like a sleeve attach, or an outside straight seam like a top stitch at some place. Here, X stands for stop accuracy, where X means an approximate stop at the end with no back tap, obviously, with the precision level that exceeds 1 centimeter. Let us consider another example, sew 15DZ. So here, it is 15 centimeters long stitch with D or difficult stitch control, suggesting it is to be sewn inside little spaces and the stitch will affect the garment appearance. The stop accuracy of Z, meaning high precision within 1 to 2 stitches, like in case of top stitch on pockets of this pattern. Just to be clear, let us have a look at one last example of sewing. So we have 28 centimeters of tricky stitch, which means a curved top stitch with a stop accuracy of Y level, that is a precision within 1 centimeter, like in case of back tacks. This would be an example, that is sleeve hem top stitch. Next thing we need to know is how to calculate the sewing time in TMUs after having determined the sewing code. Let us say we have a sewing code SEW10MX. We know that for stop accuracy of X level, we have 0 TMUs. For the rest of the code, we determine the TMUs using a table drafted by Methods Apparel Consultancy and is confidential. But for learning purpose, we have a part of the table for medium stitch difficulty. It has particular TMUs of different RPMs or speed of machine and different length of stitch. Also, it is mentioned here that this table is only for medium stitch difficulty. So our stitch length is 10 centimeters, which is in this column. And let us assume that the machine speed is 3000 RPM, which is here. So the time value for sewing 10 centimeters of medium difficulty stitch at 3000 RPM is 56. Now we just have to add up the time values of the two parts of the code. So 56 TMUs from the table plus the stop accuracy of 0 TMUs gives us 56 TMUs, which is the total time taken by the sewing code. And that was all for this topic. If you have any doubts regarding the concepts explained on the video, feel free to question us using our chat column on the right end of the web page, and we do look forward to solving your queries as soon as possible.